if you hurt your leg, you can't be like walking on your leg and expecting to get better. A lot of people like get out of relationships, get right into a next one, and then like, why is it so bad? And it's like you're walking on a bruised leg, you're gonna hurt your leg more. You can't just like stare at your bruise and like hope it's gonna get better, you know? Give it time and like things always get better with time. It was like this late night, just in my feels, like 3 a.m. I was in my bed and like I had that first line come like, "You the reason I believe that love is real." I almost never write songs without the music. For some reason, it's like the words just coming to me, the melody. I was just humming. I wrote like the whole song and then like just fell asleep right after. And I woke up and I read it and I was like this is probably the best song I ever wrote. I hit up Adriano, one of the guys I work with, and like I was like, "Yo, man, like I wrote a hit. Like I just need you to come through with like the music." We linked up and we made like 30 versions of the song. We kept changing instruments, kept and like because I was like I believed in the song so much, I needed it to come like how it was in my head. The beat was completely different at first, but we just kept working on it until it felt right. Even though at the time I wrote it, I wasn't necessarily like heartbroken, but like the feelings that I had before came to me. Like I don't know why that night I was just in my feelings. And it was like remembering all these things I used to do with this girl, how she made me feel, like how I feel now. And it was just like in that moment I was like, yo, this just feels so real. Like people are gonna connect to it. I bought you things that I didn't even have the money for. If I can make you feel so rich, I don't mind feeling poor. I love her so much that even if I bought her something, I'll feel like I got it too. So like, let's say I bought her a car, I'd feel like it's my car too. Or like even like seeing her happy with something made me so happy. So it's more of like a metaphor where it's like, I don't mind feeling poor. Like if you're gonna feel rich, then I'll feel rich too. You know what I mean? There's something about you so addictive, had me needing more. I feel like when you're in love, like you just get addicted to the person or like the way they make you feel and like how you are around them. And then when you lose that person, it's almost like going through withdrawal. You know, it's like you had this thing always with you and now you don't. And like your body, your mind, everything's just like weird. You don't know what to do. You can't go to the same restaurants. You can't like see the same people, like even smell the same perfume. Everything's just like messed up in your head. Yeah, I just wanna hold you, baby. You the one I want. I know I've said this all before, but I'll say it again. You the only one I want, and girl, I can't pretend. I have a few lyrics that I always kind of say, like, you the one I want, you the only one. I always say these things over and over again because it's like, that's just how I feel. And like some people might always want to change their lyrics, but I always want to have like an element in my songs that's consistent. And so I just thought it was like a clever way to like just portray that. I remember cloudy days we cuddled in my bed. The thought of losing you just makes no sense inside my head. That was like a little thing. I didn't think many people would like pick up on it, but it was like a little foreshadow. It's like a cloudy day. You're always like thinking gloomy thoughts, and it's like that's the thought that came in my head. Like I'm gonna lose you, and like that just hurts so much. You the reason I believe that love is real. Before I met this girl, I'd never been in love, so I never knew those feelings. She was the reason I even believed love was real in the first place. Like she taught me what love is, how it is to like love someone, how it feels to like be loved. And so like that's one of my favorite lines ever because it's like you're the only reason I even believe love exists in the first place. And ain't nobody make me feel the way you make me feel. Darling, tell me, is it real? Or was I lying to myself just to make it feel so real? I feel like I was just like so sold on the idea of love and like I attached love to this person, which like you should never do because then like I don't even know if I was like in love with her or just in love with being in love like alone. So it's like I attached love to her and then when she was gone, like I lost all the love too that I even had for myself. So it was like a really bad time. Ain't nobody gon' love you like I love you. Ain't nobody gon' want you like I want you. Ain't nobody gon' trust you like I trust you. Ain't nobody gon' know. I think I'm a great lover, so I'm like, I would have done anything for you. Like I was gonna love you like more than anyone would have ever loved you. I would have gave you everything, and like you walked out on me. So that part's kind of the part of the song where it's almost like kind of getting over it. Like you know what, fine. Like you're not gonna find someone like me, so whatever. I can't love nobody anymore. After you get out of a relationship, you always kind of, if you like meet someone new, you always compare them to the last person. And because I attached the idea of love to this one person, any person I met, even if they were amazing, it was like, but like you don't do this thing how this person did it, or like you don't make me feel exactly the same way. So it's like it's this idea of like you ruined the whole idea of love for me. I can't even love anyone else now because of you. You the only one that I ever want. I compare her to you. She has never won. Now I wanna just be all alone. Nobody love me like you, and I can't love nobody back. You remind me of the moon. Cause every night you coming back. So like throughout the whole beginning portion of the song, I'm singing, I'm very emotional, and like it's this soft like sonics. That part is kind of like this transition of like now I'm starting to get over this person. So I'm coming a little more firm, I'm rapping, I'm saying them with a lot more chest, and it's like I'm kind of proud now, like whatever. Like I'm starting to move on and like things are gonna get better for me. What am I supposed to do if I'm so in love with you? I cannot get over you. I cannot get over you. Since you left me, every night I go stare at the moon. Wishing it was you and I, that's something we would do. I was walking through this park where like it was like the last time we hung out. And I remember like seeing the moon that day, and I remember the day I was with her where like we saw the moon and like we had like a thing with the moon. Like I always told her like the moon reminded me of her. And it was like so weird for me to see that same like imagery, but in such a different way. Every Sunday morning I go watch the flowers bloom. I do things we used to do, hoping I'll run into you. I wrote that because I was walking through that park and it was like, in my head, it was like, what if she was here? You know, what would happen? But I know, like, in my heart, like, I wouldn't even want it to happen because I don't even know how I'd react. But, like, I never ran into her, so who knows? What's the lie and what's the truth? I cannot get over you. Doesn't matter what I do. Everyone just looks like you. I see her everywhere. She's always in my thoughts. So, like, I'm walking around, like, someone could be talking to me, and, like, I'm not paying attention because my mind is, like, still focused on her. Girl, I smell you everywhere. Smell your perfume and your hair. I try to act like I don't care. Everyone knows that I care. If anyone's ever been in love with someone and, like, been around them a lot, you could tell, like, sometimes you just smell something and you're, like, just reminds you of someone, or reminds you of a certain time. And, like, I feel like people would, like, really relate to that, and that's why I put it, like, right at the end of the song. When you're really heartbroken, like, sometimes you try to pretend like everything's fine, but like everyone can tell, you know, like heartbreak is such a strong, powerful emotion because love is so strong too. You can't just pretend you're not and go like try to invest love into someone new. Like you gotta really give the time to like like really get over someone, and then you can go to like people will take your like feelings more seriously. Nah, I think I'm pretty over her. Like I still have love for her. Like I wish her the best. Not like I'm not like angry or mad, but like I'm just over the situation. I moved on. Like and I realized that like everything happens for a reason, and like I think everything happened for the best.